when I'm back in cold storage, I feel it.
Play on Joe Keery's song back in Chicago.
Yes. Thank you, Casey Kasem. Well, hey, everybody. And welcome new people. It would be glorious if we could keep you. That
Welcome
would be
so
amazing.
many new people.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Anyway, we're going to get into this. So we went to see Cold Storage last night. Sadly, it was one of those nearly private screenings. Maybe people didn't realize that Thursday tickets opened up.
Who knows?
I hope it does a little better than just a couple of us in the theater. But this movie maybe is about the collaboration and bravery of various folks to stop the spread of a deadly fungus, which is starting to warm up in a storage space where it has been kind of forgotten, and it was supposed to be kept cold by underground cold streams or something. Supposed to make it be fine forever, and it's not because of global warming and all that jazz. And so we have a couple of people working at the storage facility, but also there's Liam Neeson. Right. There's nuclear bombs. By the way, this channel is spoilers only for the most part.
This is the ride home with your friends, talk about the film. Maybe you'll agree with what we're saying. Maybe not. Let us know.
We haven't talked to each other about what we thought of it.
Nope.
So go for it, Squirrel. What do you have to say?
So I'm always going to bring this up when we see something with a bit of gore in it, that we got a comment one time from someone saying, hey, you don't mention that this is gory. Well, this one will make you happy. It's got some gore and not too gratuitous, but just kind of shocking in its yuckiness.
Yeah.
This is a slimy, mold-infested movie.
Right.
Reminiscent of Last of Us, if you like the clickers. And
very
that kind
reminiscent.
Of thing. Yeah. So Skylab, this was what confused us. They do a little bit of flashbacking inside flashbacks inside things. So it starts with Skylab fell to Earth in the 70s.
Right.
Smash cut to 18 years later in Australia, someone is trying to use part of Skylab as a tourist attraction.
Right.
And something is growing inside of it.
Right. And that would be 2008.
2008. So scientist gets called from Australia of a guy going, we're all dying here. It's killing us.
Yeah.
The fungus. Cut to scientist gets on a plane with Liam Neeson and, blanking on her name. I knew it.
Lesley Manville?
There you go. Lesley Manville. There's two operatives who are going to contain this. And kind of gross. Find the remnants of this small Australian town have gotten up high. Very cordyceps ant fungus.
Okay, but I feel like you're kind of recounting the plot.
Sorry.
But what do you think of the movie?
I quite liked it.
Okay.
Because this squirrel loved Tremors back in the 90s.
Okay.
The first Tremors, great. The actors had great chemistry, a lot like this film. Had some great dialogue. Also reminds me of Deep Rising, which also had kooky characters, fun dialogue, but a horror movie. And had some gore in it. So it was, to me, it was very reminiscent. I mean, completely different plot, completely different horror monster, but it put me in mind of those early and late 90s horror films where someone gets it right, where they're like, the dialogue needs to be snappy and fun, and you gotta like your characters. And, I mean, maybe we're biased. I already like Joe Keery from Stranger Things.
Oh, absolutely.
So he can do no wrong. His character is like an ex-con from prison just trying to make ends meet at this storage facility. They've given him a job. So he keeps saying I need this job, which made me feel like, are you trapped? And then all hell breaks loose with this fungus that can turn you into a zombie and explode to pass it on. So I was seeing this as a big metaphor of sometimes change is good, even if it is a zombie fungus.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, okay, I think let me tell you what I thought. I thought that Joe Keery looked bummed throughout this movie. And I felt like he a little bit was sleepwalking through it a little bit. I don't know if that was a character choice, but I think tonally, the movie didn't really was unsure at times. I mean, right out the gates, it's silly. It's speaking to the audience, and
sure.
it's like, it's funny, but I wonder, so it kind of is saying it's silly. I wonder if that was something in the editing that got figured out along the way. Because I'm trying to wonder how like this project even came together, because you've got like Joe Keery, who's like at this point like a mega huge star thanks to Stranger Things. And I mean, he is somebody who, for Stranger Things fans, know that his character was not supposed to last that many episodes.
Right.
And you know,
and then we all loved him.
and he brought so much in Stranger Things. You know, he brought so much like little fun detail. There was a lot of energy in his performance, and just like little things that he did. There's a scene where he's like talking to Nancy at the locker, and he just kind of looks at like the inside of her locker decorations and just kind of taps it or something. Just little touches, I think, made him irresistible to fans. And then once he became good pals with Dustin, it was just off and running, and everyone was like, if you do anything, just please don't kill this character. Well, I'm thinking, okay, the screenwriter David Koepp wrote Mission Impossible, Panic Room, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the 2002 Spider-Man. Also like did the adapted screenplay for like Jurassic Park and stuff. So I'm thinking somebody was told, I feel like this like congealed, is that the right word? Or like somehow I don't think that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word. It just kind of like coalesced. Thank you, Squirrel. That's the word I was looking for. It coalesced. Like maybe somebody heard screenwriter from Mission Impossible and, you know, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then somebody heard Liam Neeson's in it. What? You know? And then like Vanessa Redgrave's in it. And like,
that was a shock.
We got spoilers. We got Joe Keery. And I feel like everyone is like picturing this highly successful, like it's like, this is the movie to beat, you know? And then I'm wondering, this is just conjecture here, but I'm just wondering, because I felt like I saw the light disappear from Joe Keery's eyes in this film, and like, you're saying like, oh, he could do no wrong, blah, blah, blah. No, I love him, and with his new blonde hair, I'm just like, can we have you in like the Green Day story? It was giving very much like Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was watching him in real time become bummed because this movie was maybe not as great as he thought it was going to be. And like right off the bat, there's some like really, really manhandled, is that the right word? Manhandled? That's
not sure. Not sure where you're going with this.
Maybe I was going for mangled, but if manhandled means done wrong, sorry.
Ooh.
Okay, anyway, I had never thought about that before. But anyway, there was some not great ADR that happens very early on when he's talking to his boss, and I'm like, that just sounded like he was in an entirely different room, and his jaw didn't move in the slightest, and I was like, whoa, quality control. I'm used to Stranger Things, and I feel like maybe there was something like a letdown going on for Joe Keery in this.
I wonder, as with a lot of horror films these days, they start off as rated R, and then the producers get in the way and go, nope, PG-13, we got to get bums on seats. Young people love horror movies.
I think this was R.
I wonder, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It came across as PG-13 with, like, when things explode, you expect blood everywhere. And there was a little bit, but mostly it's the green fungus. And I'm like, did they digitally get rid of blood? And then, if there's ADR, that's what the ADR made me think of, was there was more swearing, and they're like, cut that back, cut back the blood, no. PG-13.
No, I'm pretty sure this was rated R.
Oh, well, it's not a good R then.
Like, okay, yeah, no, I felt like it was campy, and it should have gone campier.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, I was entertained throughout this movie. It's just like, when you have this many, like, when you have this many like great chefs in the kitchen or whatever,
Right.
like you're like, come on now, like this, maybe we needed a few more passes on this or something because it wasn't as great as I think it should have been. And
Sure.
I think it was campy and it should have gone campier. And yes, much like the sort of bottle episode quality of it, like being stuck in the storage facility, like and with the fungus special effects, like of the infected by fungus felt so Last of Us. You just sort of imagine them rummaging through the dumpsters of the Last of Us set, and then like this is more like, and they did a stage play with them. Like it kind of felt like that to me. And I think what I wanted was more like, I wanted more fun for Vanessa Redgrave. Like she plays this like
her character was bleak.
Like suicidal widow who like is planning, I think, to like hang out a bit in her storage facility that's kind of set up like a
living room.
Like a living room, and she's kissing her late husband's portrait, and she's got guns, and you know, I'm glad she gets to be useful, and I just think she could have become a legit part of the crew at that point, instead of being kind of like dismissed. And then we don't know, based on, again, spoilers only here, but based on the ending of the movie, how fast did that woman go? Or did she drive away? Did she get killed in the nuclear blast at the end?
No, wait. She was still there when Liam Neeson showed up, right? Or maybe not. Because he shot everybody's tires. Liam Neeson, the operative, was like, no one's leaving because you might be infected, so I'm going to shoot everybody's tires, stab them, shoot them. No one's going away on... You could drive on flat tires if you panic enough, let me tell you.
I think they just like kind of like sent her out a side door, and I'm just picturing her like creaking her way, like, you know, through the underbrush. But I think, okay, so they should have let her get even more badass than she already did. I think there should have been more wackiness for Joe Keery. Like, maybe somebody told him this was a serious movie.
Maybe.
Because it's like, is this Taken or is this Naked Gun? We've got Liam Neeson. We don't know exactly what's happening. Somebody should have clued him in and said, like, just get sillier. Because he just looked sad the whole time. And there should have been more visitors to the storage space.
That's true. He did look sad. I kept thinking he was staring at Nancy in that wistful way in Stranger Things. Every shot, Joe Keery has that kind of, my eyebrows are creeping up in the center and I look kind of, oh,
yeah,
what's going on? I do agree with that he did look sad. I did get shades of Steve, though. Like at the end, Liam Neeson has a small yield tactical nuclear device in a backpack. And when he said, like, all right, strap that thing on me. He's like, what job do you want to do? Shoot people or carry the bomb downstairs? And Joe Keery's like, all right, strap it on me.
Right.
Because they don't want to be a soldier.
But it felt lethargic. I mean, they're giving him a hazmat suit, and he's like, I guess I'll put this on.
I can forgive it because this isn't Jaws. This is Piranha.
Well, as it turns out, the nuclear bomb is already ticking. So, like, let's.
But I mean, quality-wise, it's like,
to move.
I know what you're saying about, I want more. I want more campiness. I'm like, well, this isn't Jaws, which was played for, like, Shark Scary. This is, a couple of years later, Piranha, wackadoo gore fest with tiny fish. Like, aw.
Piranha, childhood me walked in on Piranha and definitely was like, oh my God. And I don't think I ever felt that worried in this movie as I did when that guy stuck his legs off the dock in Piranha. But,
which Kit Hood Squirrel walked in on Jaws, so I guess I got trauma from that before Piranha. Bigger fish equals scarier.
Yeah, okay, so I would have loved, because again, this almost feels like a stage play of The Last of Us or something, and I think it could make a really interesting play, and I want like Cola Scola from O'Mary to write it, and maybe it could be a musical, and Joe Keery could sing because he's a singer.
Right.
But okay, they are hiding out in a band, clearly a band practice space, maybe even a recording space. That little storage space they were in set up somebody had organized their stuff so well. Like, somebody spends time in that storage space.
Right.
This is not just like normal storage. I feel like they practice there. I would have loved to have seen that band come in and also be in the midst of all of this.
Right. Instead, we have a weird subplot of his superior. I'm not sure he's his boss. It just seems to be another security guard.
I think it is his boss, Griffin.
Griffin, played for kind of comedy assholeness. Sorry.
Yeah.
But he is just awful to the point where when he gets shot by the operative, she's like, God, that guy was terrible.
Right. It's no Night of the Living Dead,
Right.
you know, like when you know, somebody who's not a zombie gets shot. That's heartbreaking.
His weird biker gang subplot of I've got TV stored in one of these things and no one knows about them.
Right.
Okay, so you're kind of selling TVs to your biker gang friends, and of course that group walks in. You're right. There could have been a great mix of like the Poseidon adventure of like people from different walks of life have to deal with this fungus. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, have you been to a storage space? You know, it's like there are people constantly coming and going, and people are bringing their like yard sale stuff, and you know, people are for whatever reason they're there. I think they could have had way more fun with even opening up different storage spaces and having to interact with what they find in there. So I guess I was just wanting like more. I did think that there were certain performances that brought more than they had to. I did love the bit between Lesley Manville and her adult son.
Oh, right.
That was nice detail.
Yeah.
When she goes in his garage to get this like nuclear device or whatever.
Oh, right. Liam Neeson keeps saying, I need everything on my list, including item 7.
Number 7.
Yeah, and it turns out item 7 is the nuclear bomb that the partner of his is just storing in her son's garage. It's great.
Right, but there's some other energy going on where maybe like her adult son is married to someone who doesn't get along with like Lesley Manville, and it's just like he's like, what are you doing here or whatever, and then but they're like, okay, well, love you. And I was like, I thought that was true to life.
So like I've said with other movie discussions we've had, there are flashes of greatness. Like you said, they were in that storage space that was a music practice room, and there's some good comedy there where they have to be quiet. And of course, Joe Keery just stands up and knocks into a cymbal or something, and it all just crashes to the ground and takes forever to stop reverberating. That was comedy gold.
Right. Although I feel like he seems like a guy who's been in a band before. All you have to do is go, you know, you can stop that stuff. Just grab it. But yeah, I liked Justin Salinger as Dr. Friedman was definitely bringing the Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors dentistry and
fit
leather
with the biker gang. Yeah, loved him.
I am introducing a new segment called let's see, how would we do this?
Do we have a justice for? I'd say justice for Mr. Scoggins, the cat, or whatever his name was.
Oh,
justice for the cat. Poor little cat.
Sad. No, this is a new segment called Did anyone let a woman read the script?
Oh.
I don't think so. Anybody let a woman read the script? Okay. Our character Naomi has a 6-year-old daughter.
Yep. And a terrible boyfriend.
Or
husband, or whatever he was supposed to be.
She said he was a man baby. She didn't say he was...
Oh.
I don't know why he showed up with the gun. I don't know why he shot the cat. All of that was...
We don't get that subplot.
Confusing.
He just shows up distraught.
But he is dressed nicely.
True.
So he's a professional of some kind.
Right.
Not sure. She didn't say he was dangerous. She just didn't feel like speaking to him, and she called him a man baby. But
and we kind of hear him on a couple of phone calls where he's kind of raised voice panicking.
Sure.
And she just rolls her eyes like, ugh, and then hangs up on him.
But this is not about him.
Okay.
This is about the fact that she has a 6-year-old daughter.
Right.
And she's in a storage space.
Right.
Possibly about to die.
Right.
And we don't know, it's not brought up who's taking care of her daughter. And if you are a parent and you think you might be about to die, I think you would be using that cell phone of yours to at least send a message to the person who's taking care of your child, who might be one of the grandparents, or you know, I don't know, it's a middle of the night shift. So, but whatever the case, she's going to try to either get a chance to speak to her child or check in with the person who's taking care of him and say, hey, something bad is going down. I promise you that she would be thinking about her kid and frantic about her kid and worrying about her kid when there's a fungus that's clearly spreading.
Which
she would be freaking out more about her kid.
Yeah, to me should have been the subplot, not the stupid boyfriend shot the cat. You could X all that. It wouldn't detract from the film at all. It could have been, we've got to get to my daughter and away from this fungus.
Like, she seemed kind of like, I want to get out of here so I can get home to my daughter. You know, it seemed a little too blasé.
Yeah.
You know, and so...
Which could be, like you said, no one showed the script to a lady, and no one, like maybe the actor and the director don't have kids, so they're like, yeah, that seems like a good take.
It was off for me. That did not ring true for me, and also the... I feel like she would have some kind of feeling about her ex being zombified.
Right, she seemed more upset about the cat than him.
Like, and maybe this is the campiness, but again, this movie didn't have quite as much fun with it as maybe it could have. So I think I'm kind of going like, but wait, I want to understand Naomi. Also, we have Joe Keery. Now maybe Joe Keery's just trying to turn over a big new leaf, and we're not to think that he is trying to be, maybe he's not really a reader yet. They show him opening a book at the beginning of it. Oh. I don't think we see what book that is, but Naomi says, tea cake, oh yeah, you're named after a book character. And he's like, what? And so she's talking about, I'm pretty sure, the character Tea Cake from Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Ooh. And who I guess is a character that's like, out of 3 different husbands, he's kind of like the better of the 3. So maybe the writer was trying to say like, hey, much like this character in this piece of literature, my character is better than that man baby, but he's not that great. She has to explain the word loquacious to him. You know, right. He's not really on her level. And so I'm kind of wondering if somebody who's a mom who's kind of like gotten frustrated with the man baby, husband, ex, whatever, you know, would be that. I mean, I guess she did admire his bravery a little bit.
Right.
But anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing to put in the story. That was kind of a lot. That was a lot that you're asking. That was some pretty highbrow stuff to suddenly put in a movie that's kind of this lowbrow. You know, it was a funny choice to me. And
Which could be a flex of the writer going, I've read a book or two. I'm going to put this in the script.
But it made me want maybe there to be more writers involved and like, you know, maybe have some more women involved, have like Black women involved in writing this character, because it felt like a whole lot of like, hey, we're going to have you talking about Zora Neale Hurston, and we're going to have you kind of like falling for this guy right here a little bit. Though there wasn't much chemistry between them, I didn't really think. And the end, at the end, they're just kind of like hanging out.
Right.
Like it was like, oh, we need a final scene here.
Right. And yeah, I mean, they could have just gone their separate ways, and I believe that as much as, hanging out on some sort of grassy knoll, rolling a ball, and the daughter just runs off following the ball. I'm like, that seems like scarier than the fungus.
Well,
where's that kid? That kid could run into the street following that ball. What are you doing?
Or just like they're not. I can't even remember what they were talking about at the end.
She mentions loquacious again.
Right.
Oh, he tells her the tea cake story, which isn't that great.
Oh, which is...
I ate something,
yeah.
Hostess tea cakes.
And people thought it was silly, and they
so
called
there
me
you
that
go.
from now
That's
on.
why I'm tea cake, and nobody ever really calls him tea cake but himself. So
They're basically
you know.
like, nobody ever asked me questions about me. Nobody ever asked me questions about me.
Right.
We should be together forever. But like, it feels, the whole thing felt like a little static for me. Like, they've just been through the craziest experience together that anybody probably could have. And it still felt a little surfacey to me or something. Like,
sure.
they're just kind of a little bit blandly hanging out. So, like,
Again.
I don't know.
Piranha. Tremors. I think you probably have the same reaction to these films I'm quoting, but to me, a silly horror film can be like a sort of comfort watch, and I got that feeling from this one. I mean, it can't take it too seriously when Liam Neeson puts his combat gear on. He's such a large man. His safety helmet looked comically tiny on his head. Like, my head is so big. What is my hat doing?
I think my only other comment is that I think rather than like a deer or whatever, or elk or whatever that is, like barfing fungus towards the camera at the end, I feel like it would have been even more chilling, like, I think, and fun, like if it was like a roach, like just understanding, because they did off a nuclear bomb, but the whole idea was always that like roaches would survive that, right? So I think they could have had like just so many roaches going out. I don't know. But again, that's just a preference. But I think like logistically it makes sense that that roaches would have survived that and be able to keep.
More so than deer.
Then a deer is just like, hey you, blah, look at the camera. But
because they have to outrun the explosion, even though they say like 400 feet underground. Like, again, Liam Neeson says like nothing's going up into the atmosphere; it's all underground. But it'll kill the fungus where it stands or slithers. But that was also another thing: the fungus could move quick, which is weird to me. But anyway,
and go through
it's already scary.
Inorganic materials,
right, because that's how it infects the scientists at the start. It goes through her boot, which was scary. Like it's eating through the boot. Anyway,
right.
But yeah, if they have to race in a minivan to race the explosion and they get to minimum safe distance, what did the deer do? Did they start running hours before the explosion?
Right.
So and again, that seemed tacked on to be like, we want a sequel. Here's a deer that's going to barf on you, point of view style, and then credits. And it's like, you could have X'd that. You could have trusted your audience to be like, there might be a sequel. We could work it out. You don't need to see the deer at the end barf.
Well, I felt like Liam Neeson brought everything he was supposed to bring. Lesley Manville was great. I felt like their rapport as like colleagues felt super lived in, super believable. I love the part where she's like, can I go? Which I guess means, can I shoot this person? It just felt like that felt very like established rapport.
Yeah, those two seem to be having the most fun in the film.
And I don't know, maybe I just hope that Joe Keery keeps trying things and doesn't like get discouraged if this doesn't do well, that he will continue doing stuff, because like he really brought some magic to Stranger Things and created his place.
Sure. And to your point about him looking kind of sad, I mean, I'm assuming this was made around the same time as the last season of Stranger Things. So maybe he was just tired of massive green screens and not reading, because this film comes across as like we're on a set, or there's going to be a tennis ball on a stick to represent a mucusy, covered deer walking past you, but you're looking at nothing. Maybe he was just like, I'm doing this in a TV show and a movie. Too many green screens. I'm tired. Maybe. Who knows? But anyway.
Yeah.
Thumbs up from this squirrel.
And
if you like Tremors and the other films I've mentioned.
And I genuinely was having fun. I just didn't get taken to the place of like, oh my gosh. I think it maybe should have been slightly more like Naked Gun level, like hilarity. If they decided
Sure.
to just like from the get-go, the opening even words on the screen are very playful. I think it should have just been goofier and sillier and messier
Right.
and grosser.
Sure.
And
Maybe for the sequel they'll have more money and do that. Yeah, I think the bit that we kind of got to see Steve Harrington from Joe Keery is when he's like confronting Griffin who has a gun, and he's like, "Put your hands up." And against the wall, and Joe Keery's like, "My hands are up. Where do you want me? What, on the ground or on the wall, or what?" And so that was really playful and fun.
Yeah, and I think like there just weren't enough moments like that where I
Right.
was like, I'm loving this ride.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, we just saw Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and it's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, that's a high bar.
It is. So,
For, I'm assuming, a lot less money, better film.
who knows about budgets. But anyway, yeah. So, I guess that's about it.
So if you want silly horror, go see. Support this one, maybe. That's my vote. Now you're gonna have to put like CG barf on
No,
it.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best.
Cool.